season. Steph saying, all right.
What if I told you that the single most dangerous weapon in Stephen Curry's arsenal isn't his legendary shot, but something he possesses before he even touches the basketball? It's a concept basketball analysts call gravity, the unparalleled ability of a single player to pull defenders toward them, fundamentally altering the geometry of the court just by their presence. This isn't just about being a good shooter, it's about being such a monumental threat that opposing teams abandon their entire defensive strategy to contain you. His presence alone changes everything. This constant defensive panic creates wide-open lanes and uncontested shots for his teammates, fueling an offense even when he doesn't score a single point. The ultimate actionable insight here isn't about basketball, but about influence. Your greatest impact often comes not from your own actions, but from how your established credibility creates opportunities for the people around you. That's a game changer. Picture this. Curry crosses half court and gives a subtle head fake, nothing more. He's 35 feet from the basket, well outside of normal shooting range, yet instantly, two defenders panic and sprint towards him, terrified of the potential shot. In that split second, the defense is broken. They've warped their entire structure for a player who hasn't even taken a dribble. He created a perfect shot without the ball. Now, it's a 4-on-3 advantage for the Warriors, an offensive power play that almost always results in an easy layup or a wide-open shot for a teammate. This is Curry's gravity in action. He forces the defense into making a bad decision by simply existing in a certain space. The practical takeaway is to understand how to leverage your strengths to manipulate the environment. Learn to recognize when being a powerful decoy is the single most valuable play you can make for your team's success. Consider for a moment that the path to becoming truly indispensable isn't about accumulating the most personal wins, but about becoming a force multiplier for your entire team. Stephen Curry has mastered this. He understands that drawing two defenders to himself to create one open shot for a teammate is a net positive that statistics don't always capture. It's a conscious sacrifice of his own opportunity for a better collective outcome. You can apply this mindset anywhere. In a project meeting, your most valuable contribution might be asking a question that allows a quieter colleague to share a brilliant idea. Their success becomes your legacy. This is the ultimate lesson from his on-court gravity. Shift your focus from consistently being the star to consistently making the entire team shine. That is how you build something that truly lasts. Here's a question for you. What's a smarter basketball play? A contested layup with a 70% chance of going in, or a wide-open three-pointer with a 40% chance? The answer reveals the second principle of Curry's shot IQ, a built-in efficiency algorithm. Most players see the 70% and take the layup. But Curry's mind runs a different calculation called points per shot. The layup is 0.70 times 2 points, which equals 1.4 points. The three-point tier is 0.40 times 3 points, which equals 1.2 points. In this case, the layup is smarter. But for Curry, that 40% is his baseline, and it's one of the highest values in the league. It's a simple calculation with profound results. The takeaway is to assess your decisions based on their potential return, not just their likelihood of success. Start calculating the value of the outcome to make smarter, more efficient choices. One of the most persistent myths about Stephen Curry is that he's simply a reckless chucker, taking and making shots no one else would dare attempt. But the truth is far more calculated. Those seemingly bad shots, the contested, off-the-dribble 30-foot threes, are statistically brilliant plays for him. He's not breaking the rules of basketball, he's rewriting them with mathematics. He plays a different game entirely. Consider this. Curry not only attempts more shots from beyond 30 feet than anyone in history, but he also makes them at a higher clip than the average NBA player makes their free throws. That's a statistical earthquake. He has completely redefined what a high percentage shot looks like, proving that a bad shot is only bad if you can't make it. The lesson is that you shouldn't judge your strategies by conventional standards if you possess unconventional skills. I once had a manager who told me my method for solving a complex problem was too creative and to stick to the standard operating procedure. I spent a week trying to fit my square peg ideas into their round hole, and my results cratered. It wasn't until I went back to my own method that I found the breakthrough. This is the essence of Curry's efficiency. He didn't become a legend by shooting the way everyone else was taught. He built a revolutionary system around his unparalleled skill set. Your unique advantage is your greatest greatest weapon. Trying to conform to a system that doesn't fit your strengths is a recipe for mediocrity. The actionable takeaway is this: stop trying to mitigate your quirks and start leveraging them. Master the very thing that makes you different, and you'll create value that no one else can. Imagine the shot clock winding down. 5 seconds left. 4. For most players, this is the zone of panic. Their movements get frantic. Their decisions become rushed and predictable. But for Stephen Curry, this is the moment the real game begins. He understands that the deadline of the clock forces defenders into making mistakes. They overcommit. They lunge. They abandon their carefully planned rotations out of desperation. He isn't racing against the clock. He is using it as a scalpel to dissect the defense. He weaponizes the deadline against his opponents. By staying calm, he baits them into a fatal error and then exploits it in the final moments. The powerful takeaway here is to reframe how you see deadlines. Don't just work against them. Learn how to use their pressure to force decisive action and reveal last-second opportunities that only emerge from the chaos. In that final chaotic split second before the buzzer sounds, how does he make the impossible choice? Take the contested game winner himself or fire a pass to an open teammate? The answer lies in his third principle: an uncanny ability to read multiple rhythms at once. He's processing the rhythm of the defensive rotation, the rhythm of his dribble, and the rhythm of the clock as 3 separate layers of information. This multi-track awareness allows him to see the geometry of the court a half second ahead of everyone else. He sees the patterns that others miss. While his opponent is reacting to his last move, he's already making his next one based on the flow of the game. The actionable lesson is this: to master decision-making under pressure, you must learn to identify the critical underlying rhythms of your environment and act on them. If you're finding this breakdown of the mental game valuable, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're only halfway through the principles that make up a champion's mind, and you won't want to miss what's next. It might surprise you to learn that Stephen Curry's most powerful asset isn't physical, but computational. His mind operates less like a human brain and more like a predictive supercomputer, running thousands of simulations per second. This is the fourth principle: an encyclopedic memory bank of basketball knowledge. Every defensive set he's ever faced, every opponent's tendency, every possible outcome of a given play, it's all stored and instantly accessible. When he sees a play developing, he isn't just reacting to the present moment. He is pattern matching it against a vast library of past experiences. He is always playing one step ahead. This allows him to anticipate rotations and exploit weaknesses before the defense even knows it's vulnerable. The lesson here is that true expertise isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about building a mental database so deep that your intuition becomes a highly trained predictive machine. Picture Curry coming off a high screen. He glances at the defender and sees his weight is shifted just slightly to his left foot, a tiny tell that he's anticipating a drive to the right. Curry has seen this defender do this exact thing on film a dozen times. In that instant, his memory bank serves up the perfect counter move. As sports scientists note, this is neural chunking in action. His brain accesses an entire playbook of options from a single visual cue, freeing his conscious mind to improvise. His creativity is born from repetition. What looks like a spontaneous, dazzling move is actually a lightning-fast response to a recognized pattern. The actionable takeaway is to transform how you practice. Don't just go through the motions. Practice with the specific goal of identifying and cataloging the patterns that lead to success or failure in your field. Let me offer a piece of advice that could change how you approach skill development. Stop merely practicing your craft and start building your mental library. There is a profound difference. Simple repetition builds muscle memory, but deliberate practice, where you analyze every outcome, builds a searchable database of solutions in your mind. Stephen Curry isn't just shooting 500 shots after practice. He's conducting 500 experiments, logging the result of each one in his memory bank. Every repetition is a piece of data. This transforms practice from a physical chore into an act of intelligence gathering. The actionable takeaway is to be more mindful in your work. After you finish a task, don't just move on. Ask yourself, what pattern did I recognize? What new scenario can I now add to my library of experiences? What is the hidden variable that separates the legends from the all-stars? When physical talents are nearly identical, what allows one person to consistently perform in the moments that matter most? This brings us to the fifth and final principle of Curry's shot IQ: confidence as a catalyst. For him, confidence is not a fleeting emotion. It's a tactical weapon that he sharpens every single day. It's the essential ingredient that activates all his other skills. His belief is a form of intelligence. That unwavering self-trust is what allows him to take a statistically sound shot that other players would shy away from, paralyzed by the fear of missing. The ultimate lesson here is that you must treat your confidence as a skill to be trained, just like any other, not as a mood you wait for. Here's a surprising truth about the world's most confident performers. They grapple with self-doubt just like everyone else. The difference is they have a system to overcome it in real time. There's a myth that Stephen Curry is always mentally on, but when he misses 5 shots in a row, he doesn't just hope the next one falls. He executes a pre-planned mental reset. It might be a specific dribble sequence or the deliberate way he chooses mouthpiece. This isn't a random tick. It's a neurological circuit breaker designed to stop a negative feedback loop. He has a process for forgetting failure. This system allows him to isolate the last miss in the past and treat the next shot with a clean slate. The lesson is that resilience, not invincibility, is the key to confidence. Your ability to recover from a setback is far more important than your ability to avoid them. During public speaking engagements, I used to have a crippling habit. If I stumbled over a single word, my mind would fixate on it, and the rest of my presentation would suffer as I spiraled. I was dwelling on the error, not focusing on the recovery. Then, I learned from athletes like Curry. He doesn't let one bad shot dictate the next 5. I developed my own reset ritual: a deliberate pause, a slow sip of water, and one deep breath. A simple routine can reclaim your focus. It's a physical anchor that tells my brain to let go of the mistake and return to the present moment. So here's your task. Design your own 2-second reset ritual. Make it simple and repeatable. Train yourself to execute it immediately after a mistake, and you will have mastered the art of the mental comeback. Here's perhaps the most overlooked mistake people make when trying to learn from the greats. They copy the highlight, but not the mindset that created it. Young players all over the world are now trying to shoot 35-foot pull-up jumpers because they see Stephen Curry do it, but they are mimicking the final action without understanding the 5 principles that made that action a smart decision for him. They see the what, but not the why. This is the imitator's fallacy, adopting the style without the substance. It's like trying to write a complex symphony just by playing the last, loudest chord. The crucial lesson is this: don't just copy the successful outcomes of your heroes. Deconstruct their decision-making process. Master the foundational principles first, and only then will you earn the right to innovate. The revolution Stephen Curry started is already paving the way for the next evolution of the sport, and it's about far more than just shooting. Teams are now beginning to shift their focus, prioritizing players with elite processing speed and deep pattern recognition skills over those with just raw athleticism. They are searching for the next player who can warp a defense without the ball, who can make the right statistical play every time, and who can elevate the efficiency of the entire team. The game is becoming a battle of minds. The concept of shot IQ is expanding into a total playmaking IQ. To stay ahead in any competitive field, you must start training your cognitive skills with the same rigor you apply to your physical ones. The future belongs to those who can outthink the competition. So, there you have it, the 5 principles that create the art of shot IQ. It begins with gravity, the power of presence. It's refined by an efficiency algorithm that calculates risk. It's weaponized by mastering the clock and dagger. It's all powered by a deep memory bank of patterns, and it's activated by the confidence catalyst. Together, they form a system for elite decision-making. Not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.